Hey guys, thought I'd make one more video before I take my dog for a walk. Whilst I was finishing my tea, I know I could have perhaps been a bit more patient and waited for to, till I took my dog for a walk. But anyway, I thought I was a bit impatient, so I thought I'd get on with this video while I'm drinking my tea. But I hoping to make this. I dream to make this network. As I said, another network I wish to make is between China and India. I call it Chindian, which is a term I've heard, which is about the two emerging economies and how I dream to help them to network together to make peace with each other and to trade, to work together politically, trade-wise, especially economically and all that sort of stuff. Support each other, like maybe even on international bodies like the UN, help each other to represent each other and stand up for each other and stick up for each other and talk about when it comes to international disputes or international issues, they could support each other more. As I generally wish to unite together all of Asia as well as Africa, well, as I've talked about before. But this is a particular network I wish to make between both China and India. As I say, where I hope they will network with each other and generally support each other in all possible ways. And I hope that the citizens as well as the politicians come together and work together and possibly learn about each other's countries, culture and history, and help each other to grow and counter things like terrorism or extremism and things like that, and try to ensure their countries have peace and grow together and just generally support each other and politically and all other possible ways. So I gotta admit, it's a big dream of mine, and hopefully I'll do a lot of good for the world, tackling global warming, tackling international crime and terrorism, things like that. So maybe work together. Most of the tech projects I wish to do for Africa, but they could, I suppose, technically work together on cybercrime and all sorts of things like that to ensure their countries remain strong and generally support each other with information and planning together, like say 5-10 year plans, which I talked about in my previous video about the other networks I wish to create. So yeah, I dream that there will be a Chindian network, and I hope that people from China and India will come together again, learn about each other's countries and cultures and facts about each other, and help each other to trade, businesses from those two countries to meet each other and to discuss what they can learn from each other and mentor, like Indian business people can mentor children in China and vice versa, and about business and what they can learn and things like that. Hopefully this video is not going to be too long, because as I keep saying, I'm going to take a dog for a walk and then I'm going to sort out my paperwork and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to try and resist uploading any more videos for a while at least. Well, I don't. Probably a bit later today, but I mean, not every 5 minutes or so. But anyway, as ever, I hope you enjoy this video, and I'd love to hear your comments and things like that. I'd love to hear from all possible people, but specifically those from China and India. Possibly, I suppose I'd love to hear those who agree with the idea more, I suppose. Although I wouldn't silence any opinion, but I'd love to hear from people who think this is a great idea and a workable idea and things like a noble goal, and how China and India could perhaps work together to make the world more peaceful, more positive, rather than violent or anything like that. And yeah, work to the greater good together and support each other's projects like YouTube channels, art, and whatever else. Again, businesses from both countries could work together on 5 to 10 year plans or just general future plans, and help students to learn about making 5 to 10 year plans and things like that, and talk about how to tackle poverty and what each country can learn from each other as well. So for instance, China might have some ideas that India doesn't have about bringing their people out of poverty and being more inclusive or whatever, and India might have some ideas more or some ideas that China doesn't have. So when they work together, hopefully they can share ideas that other people that they might not have thought about each country. As ever, I'd love to support my fellow Eurasians in those countries. mixed race communities generally, especially Eurasians. And for those who don't know, Eurasian meaning people who are part European and part European and part Asian descent, like myself. And also my fellow dyslexics, so I'm, I suppose, a bit of a bias on me because I wish to support Eurasians and dyslexics, which are my background. But I do hope to support the whole country as well, and perhaps bring it together and talk about how those countries can, how the countries can work together more as well. How the country can make sure any law-abiding citizen is welcome in the country. And I thought about like a slogan like "working together for the betterment of both India and China." But yeah, as ever, I'd love to hear what you think about this idea, and either way, like positive or negative, but especially if you're either of Chinese or Indian descent or a Chinese or Indian citizen, what you think of these ideas. And I think the two countries also have a lot in common, like historical. Both are Asian nations, both have much cultural things in common, but also both were colonized. I think both countries have been divided, like China with Hong Kong and India with Pakistan, things like that. And both have internal problems, but also have probably quite similar growth. Both have large populations, and I think both are neighbours. Which people say everyone needs good neighbours. I love to see all Asian nations work together more, even India and Pakistan, and people from both India and Pakistan who actually want to see unity between their countries. I'm not sure how I'll do that. I'll see if I can do that. That'd be quite a miracle. Probably only God can make those countries come together, but maybe there is. I think there are a lot of people in India and Pakistan who do get along and want to see the countries get along better. And I'm hopefully the same with India and China, and they can learn about each other's cultures and things they might not have known before, which they think are cool. Again, like both countries have got good entrepreneurship, creativity, but also intelligent, academic, hardworking, and all these positive. I'm not an academic myself, but they're arguably positive attributes and contributes. And they're quite driven, and whichever country they go to, they normally, generally speaking, obviously it's a broad generalization, as I say, but do well. And they're normally the professionals, either business people or doctors or lawyers or solicitors or whatever, and all these great careers that they normally work towards. And as I say, generally speaking, very rarely are Indian and so-called Chinese people lazy or shirkers, like people. I think shirkers is the right word. Skive off work and things like that. They're normally people who are industrious, hardworking. I mean, I myself am not that hardworking, and I'm only half Indian, so I'm not sure about my fellow Anglo Indians. But generally speaking, as countries, they are, and most of Asia as well are people who are hardworking and driven. And I think also, like, when there was unfortunately problems between the countries, also like terrorism or things like that in India and places like that, a lot of people, including Muslims or other groups, said most people, whether Christian, Muslim, Jewish, or whatever the background, just want to sell their wares or get on with their life and just live in peace. And as I said before, everyone needs good neighbours, and I think if they work together, they can also ensure that they keep doing well. And just like the Western nations, if you like, or the colonial nations which colonized them, they can actually surpass some of those nations, which I think hopefully that would inspire and incentivize them. So yeah, let's work together. So yeah, I hope India and China would do work together, because I think they do have similar problems and they do have similar growths, as I say, and similar strengths, but they can also probably have something different which they can contribute to each other, but also they can work together on those problems, which means it's like potentially over 2 billion people working together to tackle things like global warming. As I said before, all those things are all those major issues. So sorry if I waffled. Thanks if you've made it this far, and I really appreciate any support. And as I say, I'd love to know what you think. Even if there was, please don't hold back any feedback. Even if there is something you say, I like the idea, but there's a weakness here, or maybe you say I think it's good in theory, but it won't work in practice, or whatever. If you think there's a weakness or anything, or any suggestions you can have, because suggestions are always welcome. They can help me to grow and to think of an idea I might not have thought about. And also, people from China and India can also think of those ideas, and if we share ideas, I think ideas we might not have otherwise had. In the past, I probably thought I'm the only person who has ideas, but obviously everyone has ideas. So I think I should listen to as many ideas as possible as well, and try and take which ones I think are workable or which ones I think are good, and as much advice as possible. Anyway, I'm probably waffling, and I hope to finish this tea and take it on for a walk, as I keep saying, because the poor guy needs his walk. And hope you have an excellent time wherever you are. Peace and love.